All right. I assume I'm on. So hello, everybody. My name is Jayo. This is kind of a break from all the animal bits. Although there are some animals here. This is Portal 2. There's a lot of awesome speed tech in this game, and showing off. Can't wait to show it off. I'm gonna click play single player, but time doesn't start until I gain control of my character. I will say when that happens. So new game, cold boot.
Good morning. You have been in suspension for...
All right, so time will begin right about
regulations. All testing candidates in the Aperture Science Extended Relaxation Center must be revived periodically for a mandatory physical and mental wellness exercise.
So here's the beginning of the game. It starts with about 5 minutes of cutscenes.
Look up at the ceiling.
Once we get past this bit here, and where it's just straight cutscene where I don't have to do anything, I will explain a bit more of what's going on here.
Good.
But this is just the base movement tutorials, where you're taught how to look around and all that.
There is a framed painting on the wall. Please go stand in front of it.
But very basic, WASD. I have scroll bound to jump for bunny hopping, because this game does run in Source Engine, and of course middle button does zoom, which I'll be using a lot to get some shots very far away, because
if you suspect
portals.
Staring at art has not provided the required intellectual sustenance, reflect briefly on this classical music.
In the top left, you may be able to see some numbers there. That's my show pause. I can see coordinates and what angle I'm looking at. That's used for a bunch of lineups later in the run, to where lines are. I have to use the coordinates to do the shots instead of a visual lineup, because they're just so precise. There he is. There's Stephen Merchant, our favorite little boar here. He'll be with us throughout most of the run, and then he won't be with us, and then he'll be with us again.
Please prepare for emergency evacuation.
Stay calm, prepare. It's all I'm saying, prepare. It's all fine.
I'm just gonna sit here for another minute until we start moving. But very simply, in terms of movement, bunny hopping is the main form of movement. It goes about 2 times faster than normal speed. There are going to be parts of the game where I can't jump, so for that I'll be using wall strafing. So let me go over here. Basically, if you strafe on a wall, you go pretty fast. It's a bit faster than normal speed.
Most test subjects do experience some cognitive deterioration after a few months in suspension. Now, you've been under for quite a lot longer, and it's not out of the question that you might have a very minor case of serious brain damage. But don't be alarmed, all right? Although if you do feel alarmed, try to hold on to that feeling, because that is the proper reaction to being told that you've got brain damage. Understand what I'm saying at all?
All right, so here's where we have to jump to talk. Well, sorry, we press space to talk here.
Okay, what you're doing there is jumping.
And of course that just jumps.
Never mind. Say apple. Apple. Okay, you know what? That's
all right.
Enough. Just hold tight.
Now we're in cutscene mode. So now we have another couple minutes where we just wait in this little area here. So yeah, so bunny hopping, main form movement. There are gonna be parts where you can't jump, and we'll do wall strafing. So bunny hopping and wall strafing, main 2 forms of movement. And of course, when I'm in a big open area and I can't jump, I can hold W and then spam A and D, which goes a little bit faster than normal movement, but fast enough for it to be useful. So that's the main 3 forms of movement. Yeah, of course we're going through the container right here. This game, the first chapter is pretty boring because we don't have both portals. We'll only have 1 portal, and you can't really break levels with 1 portal like you can with the full 2.
Just gotta get through here. I just gotta concentrate.
The beautiful instruction here.
When the management comes down here and finds 10,000 flipping vegetables. Alright, see, no, I hear that one.
Alright, so for later, when I go through elevators, you use elevators to transition between levels. So when we use elevators, you may notice that I sit in front of the elevator for a little bit before I walk into it, and that's because the game knows it's incredibly funny. The game knows it's way too funny, so it doesn't actually transition the level until the dialogue at the end is finished. So I sit in front of the elevator and I go into the elevator at the exact right time in the ending dialogue, so that it transitions the level as soon as it's over. So sitting in front of the elevator makes it look like it may lose time, but it actually saves time. It saves about a minute or so in the full run with all the elevators.
Almost there. Remember, you're looking for a gun that makes holes, not bullet holes. But don't worry, you'll figure it out. Seriously, do hold on this time.
All right, here we go. Bye-bye, Wheatley. So now we have to stay here for another 30-ish seconds. There's a fun thing you can do here. You can try and throw the clipboard into the bowl, into the toilet bowl. It's called Toilet Swoosh. It's pretty fun. But it's just a cool little thing to do while you wait here.
Testing can continue. These pre-recorded messages will provide
I don't know if I'm gonna make it. It's pretty difficult.
Science can still be done, even in the event of environmental, social,
Put it in
economic,
manual.
or structural collapse. The portal will open, and emergency testing will begin in 3, 2, 1.
All right, now the game actually begins. This first puzzle here, very simple. Put cube on button.
Even in a dire emergency. Please note the incandescent
All right,
field.
so I jumped on the button before the. I jumped on the button before I got the cube, which plays a little animation, which gets me a faster dialogue at the end. So this game is really dialogue based.
Relax, lie on your back, and apply immediate pressure to your temples. You are simply experiencing a rare reaction in which the material emancipation grill may have emancipated the ear tubes inside your head.
Of course, I can't really say much because you can't really break the puzzles here until you get the gun. You can throw that cube over that wall, although it is extremely difficult and it's only done during individual level runs.
Your test environment is unsupervised. Before re-entering a relaxation vault at the conclusion of testing, please take a moment to write down the results of your test. An Aperture Science reintegration associate will revive you.
Yeah, so that was me waiting in front of the elevator for the dialogue to get to the right point, so I could so the level can fade instantly as soon as the dialogue is over. So I'm gonna be quiet during most of the elevators while I'm listening to it.
Hey, you made it.
Here's the first real big dialogue skip. Here's where we get the first portal gun. And what we could actually do is we could have Wheatley interrupt his lines with himself, which skips one of the announcer's lines. So, hold on one second. Okay, I didn't actually get it, but if you walk there, then the announcer interrupts himself, so it actually skips this line that he's saying now. Oops. Oh, also you may notice that the gun has a custom texture on it. There are a few textures that I changed to say Animalthon. The rule about changing textures is mainly you can do it as long as it doesn't give you any advantage in the run. So there are a few textures that I changed to say Animalthon.
This next test is very dangerous. To help you remain tranquil in the
so here's the first test that we're actually gonna break here.
In 3, 2.
So what I did was I shot a portal there on the ground. The cube went through the portal and onto the button. And there, the cube basically thinks that it was going through the portal, when in reality it was going through the door. Because portals, their texture is oval, is an oval, but their hitbox is actually a rectangle, which allows you to basically shove cubes through doors and other thin walls.
Meteorites or other objects from space. Please avoid unsheltered testing areas wherever.
So here I'm going to do a portal stand, which means I walk out of a portal, shoot a portal, and then go back in. And I do basically the same thing to that cube.
The Enrichment Center reminds you that although circumstances may appear bleak,
so hold on one second.
You are not alone. All Aperture Science personality constructs will remain functional.
Alright, yeah, so I walk out of the portal, shoot a portal, and then walk back into that portal, which is a fast way of traveling. And I did the exact same thing to that cube, basically.
This next test
and I'll do those exact same tricks in this level, and they will never appear again.
God help you.
Whoops. There we go. Those are the only times that those tricks happen in the game.
Welcome. And remember,
so here, I'm going to do what's called button stick, meaning a very tiny amount of buttons in the game. If you land, there, I got it. If you walk on them for only one frame or one tick, a tick is 1/60th of a second.
If you are simple-minded,
Hold on one second.
or irradiated in such a way that the future should not start with you, please return to your primitive.
All right, so if you stand on a very small amount of buttons for one frame, then the button doesn't know whether it should be on or off, so it just stays on.
All safety devices have been disabled. The Enrichment Center respects your right to have.
So here, there's a giant cutscene skip that skips all of Wheatley's nonsense here, which is good for the speedrun, however, not good if you like Wheatley's dialogue. So here's where I'm using the coordinates to line up the shot here. And I did not get it, it seems. Hold on, this is literally sub-coordinate precise. There we go. Nope, I lied. This is literally sub-coordinate precise, so I can't just use the coordinates here. I have to use... There we go, got it. Alright, so what that did was I shot through the door model. The door model, the industrial door, has a gap inside of it. It's a very tiny gap. It's so small that you can't even see it. It's really hard to shoot through it. But with just the right lineup, you can shoot through the door and just get Wheatley's dialogue. Or skip all of Wheatley's dialogue. Wheatley still comes with us, by the way.
Okay, I'm gonna lay my cards on the table.
I can't drop him. Oh. Alright, I just reloaded a save on accident. Whoops. That actually segues me good on that mistake to saying that the category here is it might say single player, but it's actually inbounds no SLA, meaning I cannot go out of bounds, no portals can go out of bounds, the camera cannot go out of bounds. And no SLA means no save load abuse, meaning I can make and load quick saves, but I can't do any funky glitches with them. So like clip through floors or stick down buttons or anything. So I'm just going to be using and making quick saves, just to, in case I fail, I can reload.
Not interested in anything else. Don't touch anything else. Don't even look at anything else.
So this is a cutscene. It's like 2 minutes. 2 minute long cutscene right at the beginning.
Look at something else. Look at the next thing. All right, but don't touch.
So if you want to go make popcorn, if you want to make popcorn or something, this is the time to do it.
I can't see it anywhere. Tell you what, plug me in and I'll turn the lights on.
There you go.
Let there be light. That's God. Just quoting God. Oh, look at that. It's turning. Ominous. But probably fine, as long as it doesn't start, moving up. Now. Escape pod.
Don't touch anything.
It's moving up. Okay.
Although sadly, Wheatley is, if you can see, touching everything.
No, makes it go faster.
What I'm doing right here is I'm actually just gonna jump. Hopefully I get it. Yeah, I do. Meaning, if I jump up here, I can grab the soup, which does nothing, but it's fun to play with. So I can now point at GLaDOS. It's just something fun to do in the next minute. So, for those who know a thing or two about Portal 1, this hoop is the hoop that falls down after the game when you defeat GLaDOS. So hoop falls in front of you. This is that hoop. Valve thought that it would be the hottest meme of 2007, so they threw this hoop everywhere. His name is Hoopy. But sadly, I'm sure you all know, Hoopy did not become the meme from Portal 1. The cake did.
Did what? Oh no! No! Oh no!
Okay, look. We both said a lot of things.
I wonder if I'm gonna get it. There's a way to get Wheatley through the hoop. No, I didn't. When GLaDOS's arm comes down, there's a way to get Hoopy in line to where Wheatley goes through Hoopy, which is just another fun thing to do.
You must really, really love to test. I love it too. There's just one small thing we need to take care of first.
There we go. Alright, so now we have a short little animation here of us going down the incinerator shaft. And again, if you play Portal 1, this is the incinerator shaft that that you threw the cores down while taking them off of GLaDOS. So this is the incinerator room.
The incinerator room.
As GLaDOS says.
Be careful not to trip over any parts.
I'm going to be doing a trigger break up in that next room, which basically allows me to grab the portal gun early than when I'm supposed to.
Once you find
So if I could walk around the trigger to start an animation, which looks like I did, if I could grab the portal gun early. So this map really shows the most of the movement in this game.
Interaction with you to a minimum. Luckily, we haven't started testing yet. This will be our only chance to talk. But the important thing is you're back with me. And now
another elevator.
Your little tricks. So there's nothing to stop us from testing for the rest of your life.
All right.
After that, who knows?
So that's chapter 1. That basically gives most of the game its context. So chapter 2, we're going to be going into mostly new chambers here compared to Portal 1.
Sorry about the mess.
And we're going to immediately break this first chamber called Laser Intro. We're not going to use the lasers on a map called Laser Intro.
Not bad.
We're just going to jump to the end.
You are at this. You should pace yourself, though. We have a lot of tests to do.
So you may think, how are you going to know how lasers work? I don't know. I'll make it up as I go along. This map is called... So this map is another map with lasers that we're also not going to use. Because Valve's map design is impeccable and my skills are not, because I have no clue where I am. There we go.
Well done. Here come the test results. You are a
person. Not using the lasers again.
That's what it says. A horrible person. We weren't even testing for that.
Facial awareness is weird. Yeah.
Don't let that horrible person
Hello, Laffel.
discourage you.
Hello.
It's just a data point.
So we're finally going to be using lasers here. There's actually a strat you can do here that I don't actually know. There's a glitch here that I'll be using again later in the run. But it's just safer and quicker for me to do the deep wall route faster.
Beating the odds and somehow managing to pack on a few pounds.
So it's a glitch with using the laser. Yeah, with using the lasers to simulate that both receptors are online. So this is Laser Overview. It's, think of, in your speedrunning community, a level or trick that just sucks and nobody likes doing it ever. Yeah, that's what this is. So, I'm just gonna wait here. I also don't know any of the, it's really too risky for me to try any of the other tricks here.
I guess you are listening to me. But for the record, you don't have to go that slow.
Alright, enough of me not doing tricks. I should hopefully be doing the rest of them. Laser Overview is fun. No, it's not. Shut up. You're lying to yourself. Now this is Catapult Intro. We're actually going to be breaking a button here. We're not going to be sticking it down like we did at the beginning. We're going to be using a camera to skip some dialogue and immediately begin the end.
It's too expensive to pump this
so basically, what happened there was that the ending dialogue is triggered by putting a physics object on this button, but the game doesn't actually check for which physics object you're using. So you could just put the camera on the button and it works. So we don't need to wait through, because if you notice, it took me the entire length of that chamber for the dialogue to end.
Well, have fun soaring through the air without a care in the world. I have to go to the wing that was made entirely.
This map we're going to be abusing the fact that garbage falls from this tube, and we're going to be using the garbage and I guess a feature where doors don't crush you. So if you go next to a door, it will not, and it opens for like a second, it will let you through without crushing you, because the game doesn't want you to die. Now if you played co-op, then you may know that crushing each other is a big part of the game. Yeah, so if I hold up against the door, then the game will let me through because it doesn't want to crush me. It doesn't want me to die.
I was worried it sailed right over your head, which would have made this apology seem insane. That's why I had to call you garbage a second time just now.
Alright, so this map is where we get our first big glitch with portals. I'm going to be doing what's called a super reportal. So a super reportal is basically I get stuck in the ground using a line up in portals. I then gain a bunch of speed while I'm stuck, which sends me flying. A reportal, which I don't think I said yet. A reportal is basically when you're inside a portal and you shoot a portal, the game will give you a boost of speed to get you out of the portal. So you don't like abuse firing portals. But if you're stuck in the ground, the game can't push you anywhere, so you can just keep building up and building up speed until either it releases you or you release yourself. So as you see, I basically skipped the entire chamber without using any of the cubes. This test we're also going to basically completely skip and just shoot 2 portals here that go right to the end using a hole in the wall.
Oh no, the turbines again.
So this is chapter 3. If you may notice, the numbers on the top right are now the console. And I'm just going to be using it to get a skip here, which I failed. Alright, I accidentally saved, so I have to load back a previous save. There we go.
You seem to have defeated it.
So what that was you could crouch when midair, right there, and basically there should be Alright, my bad. So what that was... Oh, that's the first time a bird is mentioned, by the way. There's our first animal. Yeah, so basically you could use crouching when midair to basically skip all 3 lines of dialogue from both Wheelie and GLaDOS. And you could just use some portals to get to the top.
Piloting a blimp.
That's the first of 6 birds in the game, I believe. Is it 6? Hold on. Let me count. I think I'll have that one. That's fine. Yeah, 6 or 7 birds.
I'm going to go to the surface.
And wait.
It's a beautiful day out.
Listen to this.
Yesterday I saw a deer.
There it is. There's a deer, our second animal.
Maybe I'll let you ride an elevator.
Punch that on your scorecards.
And I'll tell you about the time I saw a deer again.
2 animals and 2 chambers. You happy yet? So this is not the normal route for this chamber. However, it is incredibly safe and super difficult to fail. I'm going to be using this cube to stop my momentum off some faith plates to basically get me shooting straight up. If I can do it. There we go. So I dropped the cube, I bounced off the faith plate into the cube, which sent me straight up because it blocked all of my horizontal momentum.
But with you here, I've got more test subjects than I'll ever need.
Is game audio supposed to be delayed? Is it delayed? Oops. Alright, so this is bridge intro. We're going to be learning about hard light bridges, which GLaDOS is doing a great job as.
If you rubbed your cheek on one,
okay, that's something on the tech end. Okay.
With the sun shining on your face.
Because it didn't seem delayed on any of the other streams, so I was scared that it was me doing something. So this is bridge intro. Most of it's normal, I guess. However, I am going to be doing a jump here to start the dialogue like half a second earlier.
Are your prey. Speaking of which, I was researching sharks for an upcoming test. Do you know who else murders people who are only trying to help them? Did you guess sharks? Because that's wrong. The correct answer is nobody.
Only delayed for some.
Nobody but you is that pointlessly cruel.
It seems like a Twitch bug. So, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to get our 3rd animal of the game in this chamber. Our 3rd animal will be here.
When you die, I'm going to laminate your skeleton and
which I don't think I can get. Okay, so I didn't get a skip here. That skips the 3rd animal. Let's see if RNG can help me out here.
I guess somebody's going to have to repair that.
Oh yeah,
too.
that's right. Shark. There's a shark and bridge intro. That's right. So that's animal 3. So now we have animal number 4
Don't
coming up here,
touch anything.
which will be the first animal that we actually get to see. You ready for this?
Hey, up here. I found some
We're gonna be able to see an animal here.
Bolts into the door mechanism. Shut it right down.
There it is.
Ah! Bird, bird,
There's the animal.
bird.
You can see Wheatley behind there.
That's probably the bird in it that laid the eggs. Livid. Okay, look, the point is, we're gonna break
Our
out of
third
here.
an-
Very
or our
soon,
fourth
I promise,
animal,
I
ladies and
promise.
gentlemen.
I just have to figure out how to break us out of here. Here she comes. Just keep testing. Remember, you never saw me. Never saw me.
I went and spoke with the door mainframe. Let's just say he won't be, well, living anymore. Anyway, back to testing.
And the rest of this chamber, I'm just doing the normal
Well
faster.
done. In fact, you did so well. I'm going to note this
Alright,
on your
so
file.
I'm going to be kind of
Common
cheating in the
history
next level.
section.
Hold on one sec.
Oh, there's lots of room here. Did well.
So next level is the intro where is the level where we get introduced to turrets. I count turrets as animals. They're basically animals. Like they're cute. They're sentient. I would pet a turret if I could.
They're the pale spherical
There they
things
are.
that full
And
of
we're
color.
just gonna knock this one over.
That's you in 5 seconds. Good luck.
Uh-oh. Alright. I did not get that, so I'm just gonna kill the turrets regularly. And rest in peace, that turret. So you don't have to count turrets as animals if you don't want to, but they're like halfway there. They're animals with robotic parts.
To maintain a constant testing cycle.
This level is really funny because you could basically complete the level before you even enter it. There's this elevator here, and if we jump and shoot portals in the right spot,
Yesterday was your birthday.
you can just complete the level before it even starts.
You know how
There we go.
I'm going to live forever.
So as you notice there,
You're going
all I
to
had to
be
do there was
sitting
just go
here.
and shoot that,
Well, I've been working
or
on a
go and
belated
place the
birthday
laser
present
cube
for
there.
Well,
while I was in the level.
more of a belated birthday medical procedure. Well, technically, it's a medical experiment. What's important is it's a present.
Turrets are animals. Violently disintegrates
That
turret.
jumpsuit you're wearing.
Hey,
is
they were
stupid.
the ones that were trying to kill me.
That's not me
So you know,
talking.
self-defense.
It's right here in your file. On other people,
We're going to be
it's
doing
fine,
a damage
but right
boost here.
A scientist has
So,
noted that on you it looks
if you get hit by a
evil.
turret, then you very
It's a
simple.
neck
Then you just
vehicle
go back
bending
a little
in
bit,
all about fashion.
which you just use
Probably-
as a damage
Oh,
boost to get
wait,
over
it's
to
a
the cube
she.
faster.
Still, what does she know? Oh wait, I'm going through the list of test subjects in cryogenic storage. I managed to find
Yeah, the
two
insides of a
with your
turret.
last name. A man and a woman. So that's interesting. It's a small world. I have a surprise waiting for you after this next test.
And I can't show it here
Telling you would spoil
because that
the
would lose
surprise.
time, but
So I'll
there's
just
a
look
small
at
little
you.
turret serenade.
It
The singing
involves you
turrets are
in
down there. You
people
can see
you haven't
the
seen
turret
in a
there.
long time.
But the singing turrets that you may remember are in this level. Again, also more self-defense here because these turrets will kill me. So, there you go. See all the skins that turrets come in.
It says this next test was designed by one of Aperture's Nobel Prize
So
winners.
this is Pulled Rug. It's an incredibly easy chamber. It's one of the easiest in the game. But if I mess it up, it loses a bunch of time. Which I totally might. Which, ooh, I don't like that. So basically we have to drop the cube onto that, but yeah, alright. So, that's what happens when you don't put it on when you don't put the cube on the bridge at the exact middle.
I bet you think I forgot about your surprise.
Incredibly easy chamber,
I didn't.
but
In fact,
physics
we're headed to your
likes to
surprise
mess it
right
up.
Now. After all these years, I'm getting choked up just thinking about it.
so this next chamber is our next big skip. You may remember the Jerry cutscene where Wheatley is about to sue Jerry. Yeah, we're gonna skip that using some wacky physics with the elevators.
1.
After this cutscene, of course.
I made it all up.
Betty.
Surprise. Oh, come on. If it makes you feel any better, they abandoned you at birth. So I very seriously doubt they'd even want to see you.
Ooh, nice. Do that without hopefully getting killed by the turret. Or shooting the portal.
I feel awful about that surprise. Tell you what, let's give your parents
So,
a call.
here's our next big skip. We're going to be skipping a whole cutscene involving Jerry here. So I'm going to do a line up here on the elevator.
But impressive. Maybe they worked at the phone company.
So let's see if I can get it. Nope. So the first try, not it. This is a skip that involves physics, so there we go. Third try, not bad. So we just phase through the elevator and go to the bottom. That's technically possible on all of these style elevators, but we don't do it on all elevators because one, that's stupid. Two, most maps transition on the elevator's position, but since there's a cutscene, this specific level or this past level transitions on your position. So it's not really worth it to do it on all of the chambers because there's really no reason to. Yeah, so normally you would use a third laser cube there, but the third laser cube only opens up a platform that we don't actually need to use. Because we can just do some airstrafing while in midair and just get to the end. So here's that glitch I was talking about with making the lasers think that making laser receptors think that they're enabled. Basically, when a laser receptor is turned off, one frame after they're turned off, they're still turned off. There we go. So one frame after they're turned off, they're still turned on.
You just have to look at things objectively, see what you don't need anymore.
So if we shimmy our mouse enough, then we could make all three laser receptors think that they're all enabled at the same time, which opens the door.
Tragic surprise like last time. A real surprise with tragic consequences. And what's going on? Who turned off the lights?
So Wheatley's back with us again. Thankfully, we're going to be escaping from GLaDOS' tests. In my opinion, the most fun part of the game, but that's just me. Or also some fun little movement bits happen. So from this point, we're going to be doing a lot more moving around and a lot less portaling and testing. So let's see if I can get this. There we go. So that was a stair. So I just jumped over the stairs there, and it just makes me skip over the just a small little rail area that's pretty slow. It also gets me a bunch of speed. Uh-oh. Alright, I failed that out, so I'm gotta stop doing that. Oh yeah, skips a deer too. Gonna send Nasser to be with his friends. So here's the end of the level, basically that elevator over there. And I'm gonna do something a little bit controversial. I'm going to artificially make the game brighter with a dev command. It's horrible. Yeah, so because of this cool thing called video encoding, this next level will be very dark. And video encoding makes dark things look not good. Especially since this is being streamed once on my channel, and then streamed again off the NASA channel. It'll look really bad. So I have Fulbright on, just to make it bearable for you guys. So here's a trick, it's called... Okay, I don't know why. So here's a skip to basically skip past the cutscene. I have no clue why that was saving me in midair. So, there we go. So, jumping on top of Wheatley's rail and now on an invisible wall basically skips where Wheatley will stop us in his tracks, the lights will go out, and GLaDOS turns on her flashlight. If you would like to see what the level looks like, here's what it looks like. I could play with that perfectly fine, because I could see enough, but you guys may not be able to. So if anything, it looks like that the game feed just isn't turned on.
They say at night you can still hear the screams of their replicas, all of them functionally indistinguishable from the originals. No memory of them. Nobody knows what they're screaming.
If you're lucky, then you can get these panels to be in the right spots where you can just jump past them. I did not get that.
I almost got a job down here in manufacturing, but guess who the foreman went?
About now's the time where I can turn on the light again. There's enough ambient light where you guys may be able to see. But I'm gonna wait until the end of the chamber where I have freehand.
Oh, I'll tell you, humans. Oh, love them. Just the way they look is great, and they're.
Uh-oh.
Right. Well, I'm gonna take this rail.
That's not what was supposed to happen. All right. All right, there you go. Fulbright's turned off. Back to normal game. So, if you remember back at the very beginning of the run, 10 million years ago, I did a skip that skipped a bunch of Wheatley's dialogue. It skipped a whole cutscene with Wheatley where I shot through the door. I'm gonna be doing that again here, except it'll be a lot easier because I'll be very close to the door this time, and you'll really be able to see the fact that I'm shooting through the door. Normally, this is the sequence where you would replace the defective turret, or where you would replace the normal turret production line with the defective turret. But, yeah, we're gonna skip that, because that takes time. And there's like 40 seconds of cutscene that we can skip. So we're just not even gonna pick up a turret. We're just gonna go to the room without on.
Almost there. Only the turret control center.
And we're going to shoot a few kind of precise shots.
It's deciding which turrets to keep and which to toss, and it's using that master turret there.
And
now, if we pull out the template turret, it'll shut down the whole production line.
And there we go. There, you were really able to see that I just shot through the door,
I mean, was there any sort of announcement
which is
before
very
that,
thin,
like a buzzer or
but
an alarm
very
of
cool
some
looking.
kind, or like a hacker alert? I mean, you know, fair enough. The important thing is it's open, but it's just mentioned in the future. Cough or something. Bring your daughter to work day. That did not end well. And 40 potato batteries.
And the rest of this map is just getting to the end. I'm gonna let Wheatley pass me here, because if I collide with Wheatley's model, then I stop in my tracks and it could soft lock without a save load. So I'm just gonna let him pass me.
So let's go and take care of that neurotoxin generator as well.
Good idea, Wheatley. Let's go take care of the neurotoxin. Pre and post potato. The game itself is split into 4 acts. Act 1, before GLaDOS is waking up, is the dilapidated chambers. Act 2 is where we currently are, which is the GLaDOS bit and is kind of escaping GLaDOS. Act 3 is the underground bits of the game with Cave Johnson and the potato. And Act 4 is, spoiler alert, when Wheatley takes over the facility and we have to go through Wheatley Laboratories. I say spoiler. I quickly said spoiler because the game's almost 10 years old. And if you don't know, then... that's upsetting. Alright, so now we gotta wait for those. You can pick up this chair, it's kind of fun. Throw it.
Warning. Neurotoxin pressure has reached dangerously unlethal levels.
You can jump on this rail. Kind of fun. Whatever. Okay, Lathel, I do not know implosion skip. Alright, so now we get to the boring part of the game. This is a good 7 minutes or so. Maybe a little less than 7 minutes. But where there's very little to no gameplay. So, if you need to use a bathroom break or grab a snack, this is the part where you do it. This is also the part of the game it's kind of like the midpoint of the run. So take the current time, multiply it by 2, and you have a rough estimate of what the time of the run will be. Of course, if I completely don't mess up chapters 7, 8, 9. 6, 7, 8, 9.
Oh, I can't wait to see the look on her face. No neurotoxin, no turret. She'll never know what hit her.
This is a cutscene. If I look behind me, then you'll see this cool thing. Glowy cube. Pretty funny. Oh, there you go.
Get to her. I'll find you.
Alright. Back to somewhat gameplay. So this is Core. Here's where we're finally going to meet back up with GLaDOS.
I honestly, truly didn't think you'd fall for that.
So as you can see, we're finally back with GLaDOS. There's Shell.
For when you got through this easy one. If I'd known you let yourself get captured this easily,
Wait.
I would have just dangled a turkey leg on.
There you go, turkey leg, animal number, whatever. I'm not sure what animal this is, but there's the next one.
It was nice catching up. Let's get to business.
If that counts, because it's food.
Stronger than a portal gun this time. Otherwise,
There we go, there's GLaDOS.
Become the immediate past
In her new renovated area? Yeah, new renovated death chamber. And oh, we never replaced the turrets. So someone else must have done it. Someone else must have replaced the turrets with the broken ones.
Oh,
I wonder who it was.
busy back there. Well, I suppose we could just sit in this room and glare at each other until somebody drops dead. But I have a better idea. It's your old friend, Deadly Neurotoxin.
See, now we did cut the neurotoxin, so we should be safe here. Alright.
Hello.
I just got raided on my main Twitch channel, which is very funny. Everyone who just got the raid on my channel, go to twitch.tv/NASA Marathon, because that's where I'm actually going to be, like, properly reading chat and doing all that stuff. So go to twitch.tv/NASA Marathon. Don't be on my channel. Oh, whoops, I completely forgot. Okay, I should have done that a lot earlier, but I got distracted from the raid. My bad.
Are you ready to start the procedure?
No.
Oh, yes, she is.
No.
So,
no,
this chamber will have the biggest skip in the game.
Transfer procedure.
That's what Jackson's true.
Yes.
This is going to be the biggest skip in the game. It's going to save about 2.5 minutes, and it's literally the easiest thing in the world. We're just going to be jumping on top of an elevator.
Stalemate resolved.
So this is the part of the game where Wheatley goes nuts. He's going to be like, oh, wait, I did everything. You didn't do anything.
Oh, it will. Believe me.
But,
it
you
will.
know,
Are you just saying that?
you know,
or is it really
oh,
her?
well, Shell, you didn't do anything. You're just doing whatever.
How painful are we to...
Yeah, we're going to skip it. Skip all that.
No. Stop.
There's a look trigger here. We have to look at GLaDOS for this screaming bit to continue. So we have to watch her suffer. Alright, so hold on one sec. Sorry, there's no audio. There we go. Alright, there we go. Audio's back. I just spammed the NASA Marathon link in my chat. So here's the skip. Save here in case I mess it up.
There we go. Lift cool. Look how
And that's it. That's the skip. So that already skipped a little bit of dialogue.
And check this out. I'm a bloody genius now.
But I'm on top of the elevator. I'm not in it. I'm not in the elevator.
I don't even know what I just said, but I can find out.
So I could fly out of the
Sorry,
elevator.
the lift. Yes, sorry, I keep forgetting. This body's amazing.
See, the elevator's now going up. And once Wheatley says huge, right there, I can hold W and walk out of the elevator and just fall down into the hole without having Wheatley to push it down himself. All right, here we have a minute 17 of falling. So again, grab a snack. We're gonna be here for a little while. Potatoes. I guess. All right, chat says potatoes counts as an animal, so there you go. Here's our next animal. She's rotating all around me. I can't do that. So the next the next 2 chapters is going to be the old aperture bit of the game with Cave Johnson and Lemons and all that. Actually not Lemons. I'll explain that later. The next 2 chapters really are the hardest chapters in the game, but they show off a lot of the really cool tricks. So It's a pretty exciting part of the run to watch. Of course, after this. If we're counting humans, then all of the dead humans that were in the in Container Ride definitely should also count. And also all the humans in the Vault and Co-op spoilers. Yeah, you guys are getting pumped for the Cave Johnson Lemon Rant, and I have some bad news for you. We're not gonna hear it. I'm sorry. I'm turning off Fulbright here because the next 3 chambers is gonna be kind of hard for me to see, and also it's just easier with Fulbright, or ugly mode as I call it. There you go, bird, ladies and gentlemen, bird. We'll be seeing that bird again later. Oh, actually, never mind. No, we won't. I lied. We skip the next time that bird appears. So I'm going to be doing a shot here called Long Shot. It's pretty obvious why. There you go. There we go. And the rest of this map is waiting for this giant vault door to open, which also has some very awesome visual comedy from Valve that will be completely missing. The next chamber is called Cave Johnson. It's where we're introduced to the big man himself. However, if I do it right, we shouldn't hear a word from him. Hopefully. So we shouldn't hear a word from Cave if I do it right. And the first way we're going to be doing that is by skipping the room where we get introduced to him. Normally there's a room with a pretty nice, with a fairly easy fling that casual players don't seem to get. But of course, speedrun. I'm just gonna restart the level. Run out, feed the llamas. Take the fun with me. All right, have fun out there with the llamas. So I'm just going to speed wall strafe down this way. So we're going to be completely skipping the room that we first hear Cave Johnson, as well as this giant elevator, by doing a cliff shot, a shot on a cliff that I might be falling on. So let's load my quick save. And I could shoot here on the cliff. There we go. Never mind. That fell off. Uh-oh. I don't know where the save is. Uh-oh. Oh no. Please don't tell me I have to restart the level again. Okay, yay. I don't have to reload the level again. So now I could do another one of these portal stands to get up here, and we're going to be abusing some scripted momentum, which basically scripted momentum is the game thinks that you should have momentum, so it just gives it to you. So we're going to be using that along with a reportal to skip the final room of the game. There we go. And just get right to the elevator. So, not a peep from Cave Johnson. So here's our potion intro. Here's where we get introduced to the blue gel, where it makes you bounce higher. And oh, here he is. Here's Cave. And we're going to be doing what's called a seam shot here. So if you're familiar with Portal 1 at all, you may know that you can basically shoot through corners of walls. And I'm going to be doing that same thing here. This is a very recent trick. I think it was only developed in November of last year. So there it is. I can just shoot through the wall. And just skip the entire first room. So I'm going to be skipping one of these cubes, this first cube here, just by jumping up there.
Maybe you don't have any tumors. Well, don't worry. If you sat on a folding chair in the lobby and weren't wearing lead underpants, we took care of that too.
And grab this cube, put it on the button, and finish up the level. And missed the door.
Oh, in case
Because
you
I'm
got
just
covered
that
in
smart.
repulsion gel, here's some advice the lab boys gave me. Do not get covered in the we haven't
Alright.
entirely nailed down what element.
Sorry about the
it
audio
is,
cutting out there
but I'll tell
for a
you
second.
this, it's a lively one, and it does not like the human skeleton.
Alright, this next map is called Bomb Flings. There isn't really a skip here that I do,
All these science spheres are made of asbestos, by
that
the way.
I do personally. However, there are some
Let us know
small
if you feel a shortness
optimizations
of breath, a persistent
that
dry cough,
make it
or
a
your
little
stomach,
bit quicker.
because that's not part of the test. That's asbestos. Good news is the lab boys say
So-
symptoms of asbestos poisoning show a median latency of I like your style.
And like
You make
things
it
like
your
that
own
where I
rules,
jump and hit the
like
button
me.
at the same time.
Bean counter said I couldn't
Just
fire
small
that
little
for being in a
optimizations
wheelchair. Did it anyway. Ramps are expensive.
that make a big difference. Then the rest of the chamber is normal.
That coffee we gave you earlier had fluorescent calcium in it, so we can track the neuronal activity in your brain. There's a slight chance the calcium could harden and vitrify your frontal lobe. Anyway, don't stress yourself thinking about it. I'm serious. Visualizing the scenario while under stress actually triggers the reaction.
Alright, the next chamber is called Crazy Box, because this is the chamber where you coat a box, a science box, in blue gel. And normally that's what you're supposed to do, but we're not going to do that because, oh wow, I don't like actually that.
Let us know, because that means it's about to hit 500 degrees.
So I'm going to go jump on top of this lamppost so I can shoot a shot away and skip basically the second part of the chamber.
If you're hearing this, it means you're taking a long time on the catwalk.
So instead of doing the crazy box like you're normally supposed to, what you can actually do is just break the glass by yourself with a crouch in the portal. And we're going to be turning off portal funneling here. So portal funneling is when you... Portal funneling is making sure that... Is the game making sure that you always fall into a portal. So I basically just turn that off so I could go out of portals angled, which allows me to skip the rest of that bit.
Why not marry safe science if you love it so much? In fact, why not invent a special safety door that won't hit you on the butt on the way out? Because you are fired. Not you, test subject.
Yeah, if you can't tell, this ending dialogue here is extremely long.
Out the front door. Parking lot. Car. Goodbye.
Yeah, since that box is sentient and just got fired, does that count as an animal? Are we gonna count that box? That didn't do its job.
Congratulations. The simple fact that you're standing here listening to me means you've made a glorious contribution.
So here's potatoes. Here's where we should get back with potatoes and see the bird again, but we're not going to because we skip all that.
Another round of tests. We're not going to release this stuff into the wild until it's good and damn ready, so as long as you keep yourself in top physical form, there'll always be a
So the bird should be in that control room up there. But, oh, there's Carolyn. Carolyn's a human, I guess. She counts.
Greetings, friend.
So we're just going to be doing a fling here,
Of Aperture Science.
which I failed, so let me retry.
Participant in the 1968 Senate hearings on missing
There we go, that's
astronauts.
good.
And you've most likely used one of the many products we invented.
Never mind.
That other people have somehow managed to steal from us. Black Mesa can eat my bankrupt.
Sir, the testing?
Right. Now you
So
may
there we
be
go.
asking yourself,
And that just skipped the whole bit where we get potatoes later in that room and shoo off the bird or whatever.
let me answer those questions with a question. Who wants to make
And that fling is so easy that people just do it on their blind playthroughs.
the testing area is just up ahead.
So this chamber is really fun. This chamber normally is extremely long, but we could actually... Is this gap smaller now? Okay, normally that gap is huge, and it looks smaller, maybe because of the graphical updates in the newest version of the game. But yeah, right there, I've just shot to the end of the chamber, and I'm just going to be doing a small little lineup here so I could jump to the end and skip all of it. So, yeah.
With your help, we're gonna change the world.
So normally there's this chamber here and that chamber, but we skipped it both.
That thing's called an elevator, not a bathroom.
I swear I know him.
So this is Prop Plains. This is the map that Latho's talking about that has a
If
horse.
you're interested in an
I
additional
genuinely do not know.
$60, Flag down a test associate.
I don't
Let 'em
think
know.
it does.
You could walk out of here with 120 weighing down your bindle if you let us take you apart, put some science stuff in you.
But what there is a really cool fling. Because of how blue gel
In case you're
works.
interested, there's still some positions available for that bonus opportunity I mentioned.
I'm not sure
earlier.
why it works, but
All
if you
gotta do
spam
is
a
let us
bunch, if you
disassemble
spam
you.
mouse
Not
wheel,
banging
so mouse
blocks
wheel's bound to
together
jump.
here. We
If you
know how to put
spam
them
jump
back
on
together.
blue gel, you
So
just get a
that's
bunch of
complete
speed,
reassembly. New vitals,
which
switch
allow
out
me
on
to
the
just
old
skip
ones,
the
plus
entirety of
we're
the
stumping
chamber.
out tumors. Frankly, you ought to be paying us.
Yeah, no horse. Unless there's dialogue that I missed or something. So this is normally the map with the lemon ring. This is normally the map where Cave Johnson goes crazy and talks about his combustible lemons.
Staggering your way through
I'm sorry, we're skipping through all of it. We're going to be doing a skip that skips 90% of this level. Called Lemonade Skip. There used to be a skip called Lemon Skip, and then a better version of it was found, which is why Lemonade. So, what I did where there's a script of momentum trigger, which I'm sure you remember what that is, that I just broke. So now the game won't give me the script of momentum. So I can now get stuck in the ground, get a bunch of speed, and boom. And skip the rest of it. So normally here's the part where Cave Johnson goes mad with lemons. But sadly, it's just going to be quiet. And yeah, this is normally the trigger with the, or normally the, that was normally the map with the white gel, and you gotta put the white gel all over the map. Yeah, no, we just skip that. Oh, there you go. Here's GLaDOS talking about the lemons. So we're going to be doing what's called a stuck launch here, which basically, when you... I don't like that. So basically, when you... The game doesn't know how to react when you get stuck in between a curved object and a solid object. So curved object and flat object. So the game basically thinks that you're in free fall right now. And because of how this game works with its free fall, to count your speed, the game doesn't actually count how long you falled. Or sorry, it doesn't count how far you falled. It counts how long you falled. So since the game thinks I was in free fall without going that long, I got a bunch of speed without moving too much, and I used blue gel to move it out of the... to redirect myself upward to get to this bit. So just like the last chamber, I'm going to be doing a super reportal here, except it's going to be a bit of a different setup. Since the other setups just don't work. Well, either they just don't work, or they're just not really that good. There we go. So now we're stuck in the ground. We get our bunch of speed, and we release ourselves. Up into the sky, and skip past the part where you would have to wait for the elevator to lower and all that. And that's underground.
Okay, so it's not the most watertight plan to go confront an omnipotent power-mad AI with. Still, it's a better plan than exploding. Marginally.
Alright, so now back to a new aperture where it's been taken over by Wheatley. In the final act of the game, Wheatley Laboratories. For the majority of chapters 8 and 9, I'm going to be literally cheating and flying around the map because who cares? So flying, there's a glitch that was discovered on day 1 of the game's release by a casual player that allows you to fly using the blue and orange excursion funnels, which we will meet in the next map after this one.
And you haven't solved it either, so I don't know why you're laughing. You've got 1 hour. Solve it.
Here I'm going to be attempting a throw that just skips a cutscene, which I did not get there, which I'm really not good at. So I'm going to try it a couple times, and I'm trying to think if there's an animal in this cutscene. I'm trying to think if there's an animal. Which I don't actually think there is, which kind of sucks. Okay. I'll just sit through the cutscene. Because I really don't... I recently changed my mouse sensitivity. They're like crabs. Alright, then yeah, they count.
True.
Why not?
I'll go true.
Yeah, so I recently changed my my mouse sensitivity. And I used to get it consistent with my old sensitivity, but I'm really not good at it with my new sensitivity. However, what's fun is that you can build these guys like Lego, which is fun.
Evacuate the facility
I thought
immediately.
I'd fix that.
Warning. Reactor core is at critical.
There. Fixed. Hey, it is great seeing you
There you
guys
go.
again. Seriously.
Now what's really fun is that when
I'm
this gate here opens...
on test subjects right now, so this works out perfect.
Whee!
And off we go. You have no idea
Which is
what
kind of
it's like in this body. I have to test all the time, or I get
So it
this-
is something that I have
this
to
itch.
practice some more.
You know, it must be hardwired into the system or something. Oh, but I tell you, when I do test,
There's a fun little bug
oh,
here that doesn't
man
actually
alive,
change
nothing
anything in the
feels better.
game.
It's just
kind of fun to do.
So I've got to test.
And you could shoot a portal inside of the
So
level
you're
sign.
gonna test, and I'm gonna watch. Everything
It's kind of fun.
is gonna
It's useless, but why not?
Warning. Core overheating. Nuclear.
design this test myself. Oh, yes. Oh, that felt really good.
So easiest
Oh,
test
here's
right
one.
here.
Since
Put a
making
cube on a button
tests is so difficult,
using a
why
button.
don't you just keep solving this test?
Because Wheatley is really good at
I
making
can
his
just
own
watch
tests.
you solve it. Yeah, that sounds much easier. Here we and nothing. All right, can't blame me for trying.
There's also a small
Okay,
dialogue skip
new
here that takes like a
tests,
second.
New
So-
tests. Got to be some tests around here somewhere.
Yeah, so that just saved like a second. Wasn't that much, but normally Wheatley's supposed to say, "Oh, here we go." But whatever. Just going through the door at the right time skips that. There's a lot of that, surprisingly. In this game, we're just going through a door at the right time. Gives you faster dialogue.
It's all right. Everything's good.
Alright, so here are the excursion funnels. Basically, if you're inside a funnel and you crouch, and you uncrouch,
That's brand new.
you can fly. The game basically thinks that when you crouch in a funnel, the game thinks that you're in two funnels at once. So when you leave one of those funnels, the game still thinks that you're in a funnel. So it'll give you the same amount of gravity as you would in a funnel, which is no gravity. So now I have fly. And the coolest thing about fly is that you can preserve it between levels. So this next level, I'll have fly. Which you'll see when I do a jump.
Yeah, made this test
There you go.
myself.
So now I still fly.
And solve smaller tests.
And that's how most of these tests are going to be
Jams all
solved.
together. Buttons, got funnels, bottomless pits are involved. Oh yes, well done. What? Well, no, you pressed the. Ah!
So at the beginning when I said that there's going to be a part of the game where I'm not able to jump, this is it. Because if I jump, normally there's this cool thing called gravity that brings you down. I don't have that luxury. So if I jump, then I go flying, and there's no way to get back down. Unless if I find some geometry in the map that could bring me down, like that tube, for example. But now I can just fly across this gap, as per normal. Just like it's nothing.
And there we go. To be honest, you can't even tell, can you? Seamless.
Going back to the yeah, this is before Isaac Newton invented gravity. So I'm just, oh, hello. So I'm going to be using the door geometry here. I'm going up. There we go. I'm going to be using the door geometry just to...
Oh, disappointed.
Okay. That was weird. That was really weird. Alright, the door didn't open there for a second while the cube's on the button. Franken turrets are weird, man. That's just one of those bugs with the Franken turrets.
So that last test.
So this map, the door's already
seriously
open.
disappointing. Apparently
Meaning we can
being
skip the
civil
entire
is
chest
no-
chamber and just fly to the end.
If I'm such a moron, why can't you solve a simple test?
pushed that moron thing a little too far this time.
I'm trying to think of what map this is.
He's playing classical music.
Alright, so this map,
Oh, sorry. I hope that
there is a way to do it
too much then. It
with
was
a really weird bug in the game,
So that's just what I was
but
doing. Just reading.
I don't know what it is, but I haven't been able to do it. But normally you're able to shoot on this grate.
Machiavelli. Do not know what all the fuss was
The
about.
co-op run does it a lot
You
more,
read that one? Yeah, doubt it. What?
because it's a lot more useful,
What was that? That was
but
nothing. That was nothing.
not really here.
My body has a built-in euphoric response to testing. Eventually, you build up a resistance to it. It can get a little
Hold on one second.
unbearable unless you have the mental capacity to
Alright.
push past it.
So the next map is called Stop the Box. It's
For the science.
quite an easy map, although it just involves going on a faith plane and catching a cube.
Solution euphoria weak.
However, I'm really good at messing it up.
Don't mind me. Just moving the old test chamber a
So,
little
grab
closer
those.
to me. I'd have thought maybe proximity.
Yeah,
to
there we go.
solving might give us stronger results.
Yeah, Latho's world record on this map.
Oh, sorry. Could have sworn you said something.
There we go. Yeah, so the world record route basically has you throw the cube up here onto this button, which is dumb and stupid.
Are you absolutely sure you're solving these?
But, you know.
I mean, yes, you solved it, but I'm wondering if maybe there's a number of ways to solve them, and you're picking all the worst ways. No, that was the thing.
Oh, funnel catch? Oh, I did not know. Whoops, my bad. Alright, we're going to be getting fly again on this map. So we're going to be getting fly again, and we're going to keep it for another map.
Solving these, and then watch 10 at once. Get a more sort of concentrated burst of
So this is really is like, I'm in a funnel now.
On a related
I
note,
stop moving,
I'm gonna need you to solve
crouch,
these 10 times as fast.
uncrouch,
Anyway, just give me a
and
way
I walk out of the
before you
funnel and
solve
I
this one, alright? I don't want to spoil the ending for when I watch it later.
try it yourself on any funnel in the game, because they all work.
Remember when I told you that he was specifically designed to make bad decisions? Because I think he's decided not to maintain any of the crucial functions required to keep this facility from exploding.
Alright, so this map, normally you would use a moving platform to get the cube and to move the laser and all that. But
Was
if you recall, we have this cool thing called the power of
programmed
light.
in one last tremor for old time's sake.
So there's no need to
One or
use the
two
moving
more cameras
platform.
in there, just for fun.
Warning. Core overheat.
I'm also going to be cheesing the end of the level here by using
Ignore what he's saying.
the geometry of the level
Sorry about
to
the lift, it's out of
prop
service.
up the laser. There we go. So I skip past this funnel here and I go past the trigger that breaks the funnel. So now the funnel won't break. Normally it should break, but whoops. And then we can just go here and get past it. So this is the map that most people know for Peabody, which is the Atlas spot,
Yeah, just,
or not, what?
getting a,
The orange
ready
spot.
For you, obviously. Who else would I be doing it for? No one. So let's see here.
So,
exit,
she'll show up
exit.
over there.
There is no exit. Not a problem. I'll make an exit for your test.
And of course, here we're gonna be getting fly. Now there she is. Just look at her for a second, so she can move out of the way, because if she doesn't move, then yeah.
Turn that beam off. I thought I had lost you. When poking on, you two are gonna love this big surprise. In
So I
fact,
shot a portal over there because
you
if I
might say
didn't shoot a portal there,
you're going to
then
love it
that would soft lock the game.
to death.
So if I didn't shoot a portal, or it wouldn't soft lock, but it would get me a really long elevator with no
I
dialogue.
don't know whether
It would be pretty awkward.
you pick
I think I
up
might
on
call it
what I'm
awkward
saying.
elevator.
Thanks, we get it.
So instead of having to wait here, we would have to wait until the elevator is finished with its movement, which is about 20 seconds.
To be subtle anymore. Or maybe he still is, in which case, well, that's kind of sad.
This is the final map. This is the final map of Chapter 8. This is Repulsion Polarity. And we're going to be getting fly and keeping it into Finale 1. And we're only going to lose it on Finale 3. So we're going to keep it for the majority of the final chapter. If I set it up right, which I did. Did Willie just come? Yes, he did.
So, he's inexplicably happy all of a sudden, even though he should
Basically.
be going out of his
Yeah. Okay, so I have fly now. And we're gonna keep fly until the end of finale 3. So finales. So most of this whole escape sequence where we escape Wheatley's traps, we're just gonna fly past them. Because why not? So normally here would be a sequence where you jump onto that faith plate and you would go throughout a whole bunch of funnels and whatnot, but in this game funnels are slow and flying is fast. So we're just gonna fly. And flying, I'm not sure if you can see the velocity number on the top left. The velocity is the bottom row of all the numbers and whatnot, and you can see it's going pretty high up. I'm going at about 550 right there. Now I just passed 500. Normal walking speed is 175. So 500 is extremely fast. Something that I never mentioned with flying, or really any movement in the game, is that because of aerial faith plates, when you reach 300 speed, the game sort of caps your direction, or caps your movement. So you can still gain speed, but you can't change your horizontal direction. You can alter it slightly for precision, but you can't really change it. So that's something I'm going to have to look out for, especially in this bit where it's really easy to get just to go too fast. That's another one of these traps that we just skip over. Oh, there we go.
Hold on. I'm almost there.
Whoops. I did not get that, so hold on, let me... Until that breaks. So I have to fly all the way back here because there's a giant collision trigger there. So I have to fly all the way around here and go back, which... kind of annoying. There we go. Yeah, so the way to gain speed while flying is to wiggle your mouse back and forth. It's like B-hopping while in midair, using strafes, which is really the only way to gain speed. So I'm going to, or of course while strafing. So we just get past a whole nother one of Wheatley's escape sequences. And it's where you would use a funnel and you would shoot the funnel in different places to reorient yourself. So here's another thing with 10 turrets. We're just going to skip past them. By using some geometry to push myself up and down. We could skip past the turrets. So this is finale 3. We're going to be losing fly on this map, and it's the map right before the boss fight. I'm going to slow myself down here so I don't hit that door. Hitting that door, or a few other objects too, will actually limit my speed and cut it down by a quarter, by 1/4. It's called slow fly, and it's kind of annoying because slow is not as good as fast. We're going to use those wires there to push me down a bit. And this funnel here is how I'm going to be losing fly. I'm not sure if I said it yet, but if you go into a funnel that is different than the funnel that you got fly in, then you will lose fly. So I lost fly, and we're just about to get the boss fight with Wheatley. Normally, here's the point where I would say to put in your time predictions. The boss fight is a little, at least for me, is about 4 minutes, a little less than 4 minutes. So, throw in your predictions. We have the boss fight here now. Along with the next elevator, which, look, they removed all the levers from. This is the part where he kills you. The part where he kills you was finale 1. Yeah, this is the part where I kill him.
Welcome to my land. Let me just flag something.
Okay, we have like a good 40-something seconds, maybe a little bit more, before Wheatley actually starts to attack. So he's just monologuing right now.
But just in case it isn't, I am actually going to have to kill you, as discussed earlier.
17:59 plus an hour.
And then a minute break, which should leave allegedly 2 minutes to figure out how to shut down whatever is starting all the fires.
You can see
that's the itinerary. Also, I took the liberty of watching the tapes.
His shadows there as I'm hopping around him. Because GLaDOS and Wheatley here will just face you, so if you just go down, then it's pretty funny.
3. Bomb-proof shields. 4.
So we're going to hide behind there and break this conversion gel. So normally there's no portal surfaces here, but Wheatley's going to start throwing bombs out of that hole up there.
I'm joking, of course.
And when he throws the bomb, it's going to hit the conversion pipe tank, or the conversion gel tank. There we go. So meaning now there's conversion gel all around the map, meaning I can shoot my portals.
No, that was actually an impression of you. Actually, because you just fell into.
So we're going to be throwing bombs at Wheatley, and unlike Portal 1, we're going to be putting the cores onto Wheatley. Unlike Portal 1, which is the opposite, where you're taking cores off GLaDOS. So it's a cool little cinematic parallel there. Oops. So here's our first core, Space Core. He's going to be the one that's going to be being with Wheatley up in space when we eventually throw him up there.
50%. Vent system compromised. Neurotoxin off.
So we have 2 more cores put on him, one up there and one there. So now we wait for Wheatley's next attack.
What have you put onto me? What is that? Hold on. The bloody bar.
So we have our next core coming up here. See him over there. So this is Rick. He is the Adventure Core.
Hey, you pretty lady. Hey.
Warning. Core corruption at 75.
So he's the Adventure Core. There's actually a small little custom campaign based around him called Designed for Danger. It's free if you go onto the Steam Workshop. It's pretty fun.
I told you not to put these cores on me, but you don't listen, do you? Quiet.
So now I'm going to do a fling here. That will get me fairly high up. Yeah, I just completely got in the wrong spot. So there you go. So now I can grab back the core, our last core, put it onto Wheatley. Now, the final bit of the game. I'm going to attempt a trick that will stop the run 16 seconds early. I'm not sure if I'll get it. I might, although I will say if I do or not. Basically, I'll try and shoot the moon up there. The moon's somewhere up here. I will try from inside of the stalemate room. I will try to shoot the moon early, which will end the run 16 seconds before it should. And I will do that by putting a portal onto this rock, which, for some reason, keeps the portal there after everything's cleaned off. I don't know why, but it does.
Please press the stalemate resolution button.
So let's see if I'll get it. I did not get it. So now we have to wait a few more seconds. The run ends when I shoot the moon, so get the time button ready. I will say when it happens. In about 6 seconds. And time. With the moon texture. Now we have the final cutscene here, where Wheatley gets thrown into space by GLaDOS. And that is Portal 2. Let's check. So since it's a PC game, it goes off of game time. So let's actually check what the game time was. 1:14:46. Not bad. Not bad at all. Not bad. So, if anyone's in here interested in learning Portal 2, you could go to the website wiki.portal2.sr. That has everything that you will ever want to need. Has all the setups. It has all the downloads.
You know,
for all the plugins and whatnot. Everything, and it's extremely fun. Yeah, thank you for having me run, and if anyone has the total count of all the animals that we saw in the game, please pop it in chat. I want to see.
Where Carolyn lives in my brain.